I started during the day, and then at night I was like, I probably shouldn't watch it tonight. And I did, and I like ordered pizza, and the doorbell rang. I was like, because I was so nervous about Stranger Things.
And then you got a hammer and destroyed all the Christmas lights.
Yes!
Yeah.
This is exactly what happened. Welcome to another episode of Is This for Kids? I am Jonathan Bearded Blevins.
I am Katie, Mrs. Ruby.
We are both parents of children, different children. We are not married.
Not to each other.
I'm married to my wife, Jody. We have three beautiful children, 8, 7, and 3 years old.
Yeah, I'm married to my husband, Luis, who is the most handsome man in the entire world, kindest, smartest, best provider. Also, 5 children, ages 15 through 3. That's how you know he's really handsome.
Jody is super pretty as well. And we are so excited about this podcast and what we're doing with it. Just trying to be a resource out there for parents. So welcome new listeners and viewers, and a special welcome to those who've been with us for a while.
Yeah, we're just telling you a little bit about some of the media things that are out there. We're not trying to judge you or tell you how to raise your kids. We come from different perspectives oftentimes, and we just want to give you some stuff to think about, and also some laughs. A little bit of laughs.
Yeah. If you've listened to some of our episodes before, you might know that I am anti-scary movie.
You are opposed to that.
I'm opposed to being scared. I don't like it. I was sheltered as a kid from that kind of stuff, and then that led to even just more. So I don't like scary things. Today we're talking about Stranger Things and whether or not Stranger Things is for kids. It is a famous Netflix TV show.
Extremely.
One of the biggest in the last decade to come out, if not the biggest. I want to start by just saying I want you to be really proud of me.
I'm so proud.
Because normally you roast me for my innocence, I'll call it. Not shelteredness.
Sure.
Innocence.
Naivete.
Jody, I don't know if you have a bunch of shows that you watch by yourself. I do not. Like, Jody and I try to watch shows together, and then we don't spend I don't have a lot of time to watch shows that she's not watching, unless I'm traveling. So when I travel on planes or in hotels, I will watch the shows that Jody does not want to watch. But otherwise, we're watching the same stuff. What about you and Luis?
Oh, well, I just rewatched Downton Abbey and Game of Thrones just kind of on repeat.
Really? So yeah. I'm not a rewatcher. I don't think I've ever seen.
Downton Abbey's over. Oh, and Gilmore Girls. So I'll Downton Abbey to Gilmore Girls to Game of Thrones to Downton Abbey. It just keeps going.
Besides old cartoons when I was a kid and Boy Meets World, I don't think there's a show I've ever watched more than once. Office and Parks and Rec, love those shows. Probably wouldn't watch them again.
Yeah, I don't rewatch The Office the way some people do, but I do rewatch the other ones.
Interesting. Yeah. But so you and Luis, are you watching a lot of shows together?
No,
if you're watching
we don't watch
shows?
TV together at all, because by the time we're done taking care of our kids and getting the baby in bed and all of that, I'm usually asleep by 9 o'clock. I'm the most boring person on the face of the planet. So and the only time I watch TV is while I'm trying to fall asleep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you need to be proud of me for this, because I don't watch a lot of shows by myself. Stranger Things is a scarier show. I wanted to watch it when it first came out because I like to watch things that the world is watching so I can comment on them or know what people are talking about.
Right.
So, and for some weird reason, my wife once a year, it used to be a little bit more, but she leaves for a weekend when I have work, and she'll take the kids to her parents' house, and they'll go do a bunch of stuff in Wisconsin, and I can't go because I have different work things, but I'm still at home, and so I do have some time. Yeah. And for some reason, that's happened once or twice a year for the last few years, and that's when I watch Stranger Things. It's always within 3.
Alone at home?
Yes!
With the basement?
Yes, it's always within 3 weeks of its release. I have no idea. I don't think that Jody's going up there for a holiday or something. I don't know when. I don't even know when they released, but it's always soon, and she's gone, and I'm alone, and it's nighttime, and I'm watching Stranger Things. I'll never forget the first time, I started during the day, and then at night, I was like, I probably shouldn't watch it tonight. And I did, and I ordered pizza, and the doorbell rang. I was like, because I was so nervous about Stranger Things.
And then you got a hammer and destroyed all the Christmas lights.
Yes!
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. I've watched it alone. It scares me a little bit. Season 2, 3, and 4 get progressively scarier, in my opinion. For those who don't know, Stranger Things is a show about a bunch of 12 and 13-year-old kids who are very good friends in the 80s.
Yep. Nerdy little D&D boys.
Yep. Who love their Dungeons and Dragons.
They are.
And they discover this alternate dimension called the Upside Down, where a portal is opened, and now the two worlds are interacting with one another, and they are trying to navigate that. It's brilliantly acted. It's funny. It's nostalgic. Not really for me, because I was born in 87 and don't remember the 80s, but the music's really good. And I thoroughly have enjoyed Stranger Things. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 personally for me. Not for kids yet. We'll talk about that. But for me, it's 7 out of 10. I've liked season 1, and each season I keep watching, even though I'm starting to like it less and less.
Yeah, I have a similar feeling. Like I really liked season 1. I would have called season 1 probably a 7 or an 8, and then after that it's just gradually going less for me. But it's people. Some people are really into it.
Yeah,
I think it's like a specific type of person.
You suggested this episode.
I did.
You just have I don't know. We both okay. I don't know. You seem to have like a temperature on what actual people in real life that face to face are watching or letting their kids watch or struggling with what to let their kids watch. Mm-hmm. And then I have the temperature on like just when I'm streaming, I just assume everyone watches everything. So like, yes, I get it. People let their kids watch, Chucky and Freddy Krueger at like ages 5, 6, and 7. Trying not to judge personally, but I would be terrified and wouldn't sleep for weeks. And so when you suggested Stranger Things, I was like, really? Are people letting their kids watch Stranger Things? And the answer is yes.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, every kid in my kid when my kids are in middle school, my 2 oldest children are in middle school. One's in high school now. They've been through middle school, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Every kid in the middle school had seen Stranger Things. Every single one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, my oldest is 8, so haven't been there yet.
That was the discussion with my kids. It's like, Mom, I'm the only person who hasn't seen Stranger Things. And so I would like took a quick poll among classroom moms, like, hey, did your kids see Stranger Things? And I pre-watched the first season to make sure, that was when I was being ultra careful in 2016, I think. Anyway, yeah, they're all watching it.
Interesting. So season 1, I'll never forget. Like the first time I watched it, it was one of my favorite seasons of any show. Like I just thought it was hilarious. It was interesting. It was exciting. It was suspenseful, a little bit scary, but not a ton. Loved it. Probably would have said like 12, 13-year-old, maybe 14 for me, like to watch that one. And then it gets kind of crazy after that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on whether or not it's for kids?
I definitely agree with you that there's a difference from one season to the next. So I think originally Stranger Things was meant to be a standalone 1-season thing, and then it expanded out from there because of the great reception that it had. And so with the first season, I think it can easily be watched by a 12-year-old, somebody who's 12 years old who's not overly frightened of things, because it is suspenseful, it is scary, but there's not like a lot of blood. There's not. It's a lot of like, not even jump scares, just sort of spooky happenings, things lighting up when they shouldn't be, things coming out when they shouldn't be. Those kinds of scares. But it's a good kind of scare for a 12-year-old. And the subject matter doesn't get to. There's an older sister that's there's hints that she's sexually active, but it's not a big plot point or anything like that, and they think the big sister is icky anyway. And the relationship between the girl that comes in, the character 11, is really cute to watch them interact with each other. So I think that the season 1 is absolutely appropriate for 12-year-olds and anybody in the middle school range. When you get into season 2, it does get a little bit scarier.
Yeah.
Poor Samwise Gamgee just never. I don't want to ruin this for you, but like, don't get attached to Samwise Gamgee.
He's so great.
He's so good. Sean Austin.
Yeah.
Is that guy's actual name, but sorry. Anyway, season 2, I would say you need to be about 14 or so, because the older kids become more of the main characters. And so a little bit more of the big kid stuff starts to filter its way into that. And then by the time you've gotten to seasons 3 and 4, even the creators have indicated that they don't intend this to be a children's show. By the time you get to seasons 3 and 4, not only is it scarier and more intense, but like the politics, the sci-fi, like Russia gets involved.
Yeah.
It's just a lot more that I think it would be difficult for a kid to follow the plot, and it's scarier.
Yeah. I would love to have a conversation with the writers, because how you go from season 1 to season 4, like, was that your plan all along?
Yeah.
How, like, at what point did you make a conscious choice to be like, this is going to be a horror show now?
Yeah.
And I know people who know me are gonna be like, oh, John thinks it's like season 4 is horrifying. I mean, so here's my reason for like why I don't watch scary movies. I'm a Catholic. A lot of people know that. Some don't. And I believe that possession and that kind of stuff is real, right? That demons are real, the devil's real. And so I saw Exorcist when I was like 16 or 17, and it messed me up.
Yeah.
Like for weeks, I was like not sleeping. It's still like that little girl's face, like, is like just once a month I think of it.
Do you open your movie app, like when you go to reserve movie tickets, the stupid Exorcist new movie is out, and it flashes in my face, and I get scared, and I want to throw my phone.
Yeah, they were showing it.
I need to
on,
talk to you, Regal app designers.
Seriously, they were showing it. We should actually do an episode completely on like commercials. Like, so the NFL says it's like Y7 or whatever, it's for kids.
Yeah.
And then all these commercials, like my kids like watching the Exorcist preview. preview. And I'm just like, what? Like, that's horrifying. I saw it when we went to go see the movies, the new Paw Patrol movie. I saw like the poster for the Exorcist thing. And I was like, oh, don't look. So I saw that. It scarred me for life for sure. It was probably one of the last horror movies I ever saw. Then I stupidly at like 21 saw Exorcist of Emily Rose. That messed me up even more because that's also based on a true story.
So was The Exorcist.
I know, but this one was like
yeah,
the person's name was used. It's nuts. So I don't like scary movies. And season 4 of Stranger Things like has a lot of those Exorcist things happening, like possession. It's not a demon necessarily, but it's happening. The mind control, the contusion of the body, like just like what's that contortion?
Contortion. What's contusion? Is a bruise.
Both that too.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know which one.
Oh my gosh, like the eyes get burnt out. Yeah. Like it is creepy. Like season 4 of Stranger Things, I think is like horror stuff.
Yeah.
And like you said, the politics and like just the storyline in general becomes more difficult to follow. Like I don't think even as a 20-year-old I really would have understood it as much as I do now. So for me, like the language amps up. Season 1, there's 0 F-bombs. They drop a bunch more in season 2 and then 3 and then the most in season 4.
Yeah.
It gets progressively scarier every single season. And so for me, I'm like, why let your 12-year-old watch season 1 if you're just going to not let them watch 2, 3, and 4?
Yeah.
I agree with you that 1 is like for season 1 is for 12-year-olds. After that, though, 16, 17 for me. Like if your kids are into scary stuff at that age, then watch it with them. But it's, it creeps me out.
Yeah. Season 1 stands on its own. I think season 2 can stand on its own. You can stop there and it's fine. And you just don't need to know that there's a season 3 or 4. But I agree. I would basically put this at right by the time a kid's a 16-year-old, if we're letting them drive a car, in my mind, like they can make their own choices and they should be formed in some sort of virtue at that point to determine whether or not things are appropriate for themselves. So I would say a 16-year-old can make their own choice regarding seasons 3 and 4. But 1 and 2, I would limit first season to 12-year-olds. I would wait till they're 14 for the second season.
Yeah. My mind is not made up on whether or not this is a show that I'm going to watch with my kids when they're older. Like I'm thinking no. But if I were, similar to like what I said in our Boy Meets World episode, if you haven't listened to that, check it out. Thisisforkids.com. You can find it there.
He thinks it's one of our best episodes.
I think it's really good.
Yeah.
I think it's really good. I suggested in that episode that you when you're 10 or 11 years old, every year grow with the show. Don't binge watch it. This same kind of thing here. Like if you really like Stranger Things or you want to watch it, wait till your kids are 16, 17, and then like watch it when they come home from school, from college, from work, whatever, and just kind of have it be a family thing that you do if it's something you're into. I don't know if I'm going to see season 5. I think I have to because I want to know how it ends.
I don't think I have to.
It creaked me out though, like legitimately. I don't have nightmares and stuff like that, but like I just don't need that stuff in my life.
Yeah.
That negativity. I was going to say negative energy, but I don't like to use the word negative energy. The negativity.
Yeah. I'm fine with putting it down. If I don't like it, I just stop watching it. I don't need resolution on it. It's not my boyfriend, you know? I don't need the closure. We're okay.
Are you like that with other shows?
Yeah, like one of my favorite shows that we didn't talk about in the last season is Better Call Saul. And once Better Call Saul, like they took a long break and I completely forgot what happened in the entire thing. And then when the new seasons came out, I was like, me. I've done the same thing with like the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Like it was really fun to watch those first 2 seasons, but I'm like,
That's a good point.
Once it's been too long of a break, I can put it down and never go back and I'll be fine.
That happened with me on Walking Dead.
I never liked Walking Dead. I don't like things that look gross. I don't like.
Oh, see, that doesn't bother me.
The worst part of Stranger Things for me is when they show the girl who just like goes disappeared and then nobody cares about her character ever again.
Yeah.
They show her like in a feeding pod type thing. She's got goo on her face. It's not blood, but that was the most horrifying part of that movie or that show for me.
Yeah, and there is gore. The scariest thing to me was in the trailer scene where like she's just getting thrown all around.
Yeah.
Like, it's like Exorcist 2.0.
Yes.
I have some deep wounds that we're going to have to work through.
Yeah.
In these Is This for Kids therapy sessions.
It's going to be fine.
So both of us kind of on the same page. Not really for kids, maybe for high schoolers post season 1.
And for all of you who are ready to roast us in the comments over here on YouTube, I've seen you. Don't act like I haven't.
Do they roast?
Oh my gosh, they think we're so sheltered.
Oh.
Well, only on the shorts.
Okay.
When it's like out of context.
Yeah.
Whatever. Even the creators don't think seasons 3 and 4 for children. They specifically stated, we did this on purpose. It's not for kids.
Yeah. And I'll just say this, in a world where like there's no sheltering happening, like it's being a little bit sheltered isn't such a bad thing.
I know, you're precious.
We were not meant to consume as much media as we're consuming as human beings right now. And so I'm all for a little bit of sheltering because
Absolutely.
Yeah, we weren't made to watch shows.
You don't need to know about
16
all the horror
hours
in
a
the
day.
world. Yeah, just because it's real doesn't mean it needs to exist.
Yeah, and why watch Stranger Things when you can watch Boy Meets World?
When it's Boy Meets World.
Let us know what you think. Let us know what shows you want us, what movies, what music, what video games you want us to review next. We had a lot of good feedback on our Roblox and Minecraft episodes. So I'm excited to do some more video games.
Yes. You know what my favorite 5-star review we ever got was?
What?
It says, we're not prudish.
Oh.
We're not.
Who said that? You?
No. Pete McGuinness.
That's actually a huge compliment.
I
He
know.
is the host and creator of How to Be Awesome at Your Job.
Yeah.
Great podcast. You should check it out.
Yeah.
That's for free, Pete, if you're still listening. But
Next
you
one's
can
gonna be $75 and a ham sandwich.
turkey for me, please. You can check everything we're doing out at isthisforkids.com. We're very involved on our Instagram and our YouTube. We also have a Patreon now that we're really excited about. You can put some things up here. There's all kinds
There's gonna
of
be a whole thing.
all kinds of things that you can do. Check it out. You'll find the link to that as well just at isthisforkids.com. Until next time,
See you later.
we're out. Don't have nightmares.